Hi everyone, it's Maggie. Right now I am home, as in my parents' home. I'm just feeling really chill today. I have a really great blanket that I have wrapped around me, and you know, I just thought what better for me to do than make a rant video about the books that I hate. These are books that I have read and either really don't like or don't care enough about continuing the series. I don't know anyone that I would ever recommend these books to, so I'm going to just donate them. Also, just a friendly reminder, this is my opinion. I feel like a lot of reading is just the time and place where you are at and how fast you read it, how slow you read it. There's a lot of variables that go into reading a book. It just happens that a lot of these books I really didn't like, but it's amazing if some of these are your favorites. Okay, now I'm gonna go on with the video.
Hey guys. Somehow I didn't realize when I was framing up what I was gonna be filming that there's a literal lampshade just hanging out on my bed this entire video, sometimes in very clear view. So I apologize if it annoys you because it's annoying me while I'm editing, so.
The first book that I'm going to be donating is Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen. This book, I think, was one of the first books that I ever got from Book Outlet. This is a book that I don't actually hate. It was just, as a YA romance goes, I know so many other books that are YA romances that are so much better, and it was just so long. Really, I don't think I have anyone that I would recommend this book to, so I'm going to be donating it. Next, I have a first book in a series, and it is The Inventor's Secret by Andrea Kramer. I read it and didn't think much about it. Besides the steampunk aspects, it really felt like every other YA fantasy love triangle book ever. So I decided that I want to be keeping this book. I want to be recommending this book to anyone. The next book is a book that maybe I hyped up a little too much in my mind, and it is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This book I was so excited to read. I heard so much good about it, and then I actually got down to reading it, and again, it just really felt like every other YA fantasy that I have ever read. I honestly couldn't even tell you the exact details of the plot of this book because I just mix it up with a bunch of different books. I know a lot of people do really enjoy this series, so it was probably just like incorrect timing for me. For me, it just wasn't my type of thing. The next book I have is This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. I bought this book in 2013, right when it came out, and I read about 100 pages of it and then put it down for about 4 years. I think I would have enjoyed this book a lot better if I read it when I was younger. I read other books by this author when I was younger and I really loved it. It's a really cute little YA romance. It just didn't sit as well with me as maybe like a Morgan Matson YA romance does now for me. This one was a little bit like meh. That is why I am going to be donating it. I don't have any super strong feelings about this book. This next book, I truly, in my soul, hate so much. It is Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff. This book follows a couple, Lotto and Mathilde, and their marriage, their love, and what happens to them in their life. 3/4 of this novel follows the perspective of Lotto. Lotto is, there's no way to put this delicately, he is an asshole. So for 3/4 of the book, I was just pissed off the whole time at Lotto because he thinks he is the king of the world. He can do nothing wrong. He's so talented. You have to adore him, and he doesn't understand how he doesn't get everything his way, and it was just so annoying. And finally, when it got to Mathilde, it was literally all about Mathilde being obsessed with Lotto. It was a lot of Lotto, and I didn't need any of him. Then I have probably the weirdest book I have ever read, and it is The Bees by Laline Paul. This book follows bees. Basically like the adult version of the Bee Movie with no comedy, just a bunch of like weird bees having sex, weird fantasy things. It was a lot and I really didn't need it, and for some reason I read the whole entire thing. It was by far one of the weirdest books I have ever picked up. The next book, I do not have the cover of it, but it is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. This one was another meh. I already knew who the main female love interest was for the main character, and he just did some really disturbing things that I did not approve of in this book. I don't think that it's okay even if they end up being better together. I didn't see myself ever wanting to ship those two characters together, and that combined with the fact that I didn't really enjoy the narrative all that much, it was pretty easy for me to not want to continue on with this series, and because of that, I'm going to be giving it away. Next, I have The Thousandth Floor by Katherine McGee. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. This book definitely, I didn't have any harsh feelings about it. This book felt very Gossip Girl to me. You know, there's so much drama. There was a very popular wealthy girl that lost all her money and was dropped down to a lower level. It is just the kind of book that I don't exactly enjoy. There was also a romance in this I didn't really approve of, because though they weren't technically brother and sister, they were stepbrother and stepsister, they grew up together. So they had that bond of brother and sister. I might be remembering this wrong, but I remember feeling very uncomfortable with that. And I know that was part of like the mystery or whatever. You weren't supposed to really support it. This book didn't really mesh well with what I normally like to read. I just don't really like a lot of things that have way too much drama. Next, I have Julia Vanishes by Katherine Egan. This one I just didn't really enjoy while I was reading it. This book basically follows a girl who's going through the witch trials. She is a witch. She is figuring out all these secrets in the world. The main character can walk sort of in between realms of reality so that she goes about unseen. It promised to be a book that I was really excited about reading, and then once I picked it up, I found myself kind of having to like trudge along trying to finish it, and I did finish it, but it just wasn't my favorite. And then finally, ending it off on a very December-y themed book, we have The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Again, this book I really hyped up to be something that I was really gonna enjoy. I read it during Christmas last year, I believe, and it was just something that I felt kind of meh about. I again felt myself like I was just pushing to try to finish it, and that kind of tells you how you feel about a book. I didn't really like the main character that much, which was kind of the point. She starts out as being kind of an awful person, and then she ends up trying to redeem herself, and she goes through this journey. It's kind of like the story of Scrooge, but in modern day society. It was promising. I was really excited about it, but it just ended up not being my favorite. So that's it, friends. These are all the books that I'm going to try to sell or donate. If you guys did not like this video, that's okay. I'm not this negative on my channel normally. I like to be very positive about the books that I'm reading, but I also wanted to share the books that I'm going to be unhauling. If you would like to see my other content, please subscribe. I come out with a video every single Wednesday and Friday to the best of my ability. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please put it in the comment section down below. I would really like to hear your opinions about some of these books, and I hope that you all have an amazing day. Bye!